from now, there will be no exercise. If you are supposed to be isolating at home, then you will need to stay in your home or on your property. Fresh air at the front door, fresh air in your front yard or your backyard, or opening a window, that's what you're going to have to do. It's very difficult to enforce this if people have a lawful excuse, and if some people are going to use that to try and justify other decisions. They were at no point getting exercise, they were doing something else. I apologise to those who were doing the right thing, but we simply have no choice but to move to that setting. I can confirm that there will be more than 500 additional ADF personnel come to Melbourne in coming days. They will be accompanied by around more than 300 additional authorised officers from the Health Department, and they will continue to go out in teams to door knock, to visit. And yes, it is about compliance. There's no argument with that. That's exactly what it is. It's about making sure that people are where they should be. But at the same time, it's also an opportunity to explain, to provide information, to provide clarity, and it's a really important opportunity for us to say to those many Victorians who are at home where they should be, what do you need? Is there something we can do for you? And as I've said to you before, scripts have been filled, basic essentials have been gone and got purchased. Lots of different practical things have been done to support people who without that door knock may not have been able to get the things that they need. So it is a two-way thing. It's not just about compliance. Beyond that though, it's also about providing support, providing information, providing clarity. So that team is growing substantially, and what that means is that every single positive case will be door knocked multiple times, random and repeat door knocks, and you'll understand why I'm not going to give people the program of door knocking, but there will be multiple door knocks and they will be random in nature, as well as all close contacts will also be visited on the same basis. And those door knocks, you are expected to be found at home. And now that the exercise provision is gone, and again, that is not a decision made lightly, but it is incredibly important that police are able to establish, well, firstly ADF and authorised officers, and then subsequently police for anyone who isn't. It's incredibly important. Stay at home means stay at home for all of us, but it certainly means stay at home for those who have the virus or those who have been directed to isolate, and there will also be some changes to penalties. As everyone has become very well aware, there is a $1,652 on-the-spot fine if you breach the directions of the Chief Health Officer. There is also a $200 penalty for not wearing a mask when you are out of your home. Not too many of those fines have had to be issued, and in the general scheme of things, even the $1,652 fine, that's only used where that's deemed appropriate. And again, the vast majority of people are doing the right thing. But there are a number of people who are not, and that's why I can announce today a new on-the-spot fine. It is in fact the largest on-the-spot fine for an individual on the statute books of the state of Victoria, $4,957. As you know, penalty units is how this is done, and penalty units change each year, but ultimately that's a $5,000 on-the-spot fine, and that will be particularly for those who breach their isolation orders. If you are supposed to be at home and you are not, then you face the prospect of a fine of up to $5,000. If there were repeat breaches, if there were particularly selfish behaviour, like for instance going to work when you had the virus, then there is the alternative pathway, and that is of course taking you to the Magistrates Court, where the maximum penalty that can be applied to you is $20,000. We don't want it to come to that. We want people to be where they are supposed to be, because that is how we will all get past this. Any support whatsoever that you or a member of your family might need because you're doing the right thing and isolating at home, we will do everything we can to provide you with that help. And that's the critical point here. The door knocking is for compliance, but it's also to make sure you've got the information and the support that you need. We will work with people, we will do everything we possibly can to support people, but you have got to be isolating when you are directed to do so.